Happy Canada Day Oakville North-Burlington. On Canada Day, we celebrate our country and reflect on what it means to be Canadian. We have so much to celebrate this year as more and more Canadians are vaccinated, and we look forward to returning to normal. And while we must celebrate in small family groups again this year, we can look ahead to gathering as a community soon. While we celebrate all that makes our country great, we must be honest with ourselves about the reality of Canada's history and foundation on unceded lands of Indigenous peoples. We cannot ignore Canada's past and the ways in which Indigenous peoples, Black and racialized Canadians face systemic racism in Canada in order to move forward to create a future that is inclusive and equitable for all who call Canada home. By calling out racism and misogyny and working together to end it, we can help Canada live up to its own aspiration of being the most accepting and equitable country in the world. On Canada Day, we recognize that while we come from different backgrounds and diverse experiences, our beautiful diversity makes us stronger. Our country ensures we all have the freedom to express and embrace our cultural identity and traditions, while at the same time celebrating being Canadian together. On this Canada Day, let's commit to reconciliation, healing, acceptance, inclusivity, equity, and to ensuring we can take pride in a nation that celebrates, uplifts, and welcomes everyone who lives in it. Happy Canada Day.
Canada Day to me means, during the pandemic, I had so much time to reflect. You get to sit home and you're watching a lot of news and you're seeing all the different effects that other countries had other than Canada. And for me, I took for granted all of the special things that Canada always offers that you just never think of until when you actually see the dire strait that other people have to go through on a regular daily basis. And for me, it's all about privilege, opportunity, rights. This country really, really bounds together. I feel safe here. I just feel like I can flourish as long as you tap into your your goals and ambitions that you have. Canada is actually here to help you be successful. I'm a businesswoman, so when I see all the opportunities and all the people that help me go along the way to get to my goals and reach what I gotta do, I just think it's absolutely amazing. And then of course, all the beautiful faces that you see of all the different ethnicities. In Canada, you go watch the fireworks, you just see so many different people. You think that you're like at a multicultural event, and you're not. This is just everyday life here in Canada. So for me, Canada Day is just really, it's special. I'm just really proud to call myself Canadian. I always was, but it just feels even more special now. And I just love this country that I am. I don't think I'll ever leave.
Something is big. It really is so much that something is called so much to discover. And that so much opportunities to discover. With the wildlife in Canada, even I have visited all the provinces, various cultures, history and our heritage. And there's so many things that we can learn from each other, and will broaden our horizon because of our diverse community, diverse culture. This is something I really love and treasure, and we can learn from each other about how we treat problems and deal with problems, or how we look at things. Our diverse culture, the foods, and the food that we eat, right? And that we can learn about other people's food, and through the festivals and all kinds of festivals. Locally, for example, in Burlington where I live, is the Sound of Music Festival, the Rips Festivals. There's a lot of open spaces that I love, and that clean air, freedom.
What I love about our country is that it gave my parents the opportunity as immigrants to live a better life and to offer that to their children, myself. And following in my parents' footsteps, I'm able to offer even more experience to my children, and many of those things my parents never even dreamed of. So that's why we love Canada.
I became a Canadian citizen when I was 22 years old. As a young adult, I recognized that Canada would be the best country to raise my future family in. So 35 years and 2 grown children later, I am grateful for all the opportunities that Canada has provided for my family. For me, being Canadian represents the best decision that I could have made.
Being a Canadian to me means providing a fair and equitable justice system that provides the resources needed for people that are fighting for a second chance and trying to get back on their feet after incarceration. It also means having a sense of adventure, being able to explore. It also means joy, happiness, laughter, and creating with others. So being a Canadian is one of my favorite things.
I'm an incredibly proud Canadian and feel extremely lucky to call Canada home. To me, there's nothing better than watching our fellow Canadians succeed on the global stage, be it in athletics, the arts, business, or among many other disciplines. As Canadians, we have a lot to be proud of and should continue to celebrate our successes as a nation. However, like all people, no nation is perfect. We have rightly had to have some tough and uncomfortable conversations as a nation after the tragic events in London, Kamloops, and in too many other communities across our country. But our willingness as a nation to have those tough conversations and learn from our history is what makes Canada such a special place. So let's ask those tough questions. Let's continue to stand up for what we believe is right. And let's learn from our past as we continue to celebrate what makes Canada such an amazing place to live, work, and visit.
There's much to celebrate about Canada. In some respects, Canada is a model of diversity around the world. However, we have a lot more to go. We have a lot further to go. We have to recognize the history in this country of our Indigenous peoples and what we have seen over the last several months in terms of discoveries at residential school systems is just one element of why we as Canadians all together must reflect and also must do more to repair the damage that's been done to our Indigenous brothers and sisters across the country. We also know in the data that the Black experience is different. And regardless of whether we look at healthcare, education, or societal outcomes in the justice systems, it is different, and we need to do more there as well. We also know that we've seen throughout the pandemic many more incidences of racism, whether that's overt racism or violent acts. We've discovered through data a lot more around systemic discrimination as well. All of those areas are, yes, challenges, but they're opportunities, because when we eliminate discrimination, when we eliminate anti-Black racism and overt racism, we allow for the full potential of this country to be realized, not just economic potential, but societal potential as well, and that will make Canada even greater.
I love that we Canadians are famous for being nice, and therefore I want Canada to be nice to everyone in our land and beyond. I would love for Canada to live up to its own ideals and treat all Canadians equally.